ended up a pure neutral nature.
Okay.
Cool.
I bottle cap mine. Not that you fully need it as you're sweeping through these people.
That's why I was like, I couldn't remember if I actually did, because I actually got lucky and ended up with the speed and offensive stats being what was bottle caps at next is...
Yes.
Also realized they're going, like, I think, clockwise, so that seems to be the...
Clockwise! Counterclockwise! Fort, what are you watching? Kid show.
Teleboobies.
I love teleboobies.
It's a kid show.
Teleboobies.
Yes.
You didn't heal.
I'm using the legendary. I wanted to walk up and get close because I went on the bike. So my idea was I wanted to see if... Damn it, wrong one. If using the bike would heal it, because if so, this will be infinitely faster to do this versus stopping to heal. Oh, okay. And that's why we check this.
So it is.
And that's why we check these things.
So it is just programmed to secretly heal the legend. Cool. Good. Because that is technically a Pokemon that's in your party. It just shifts in and out.
That's why I was like, I don't know if bringing it in and out of this counts as a full heal or...
I never looked into the logistics for that.
Like I said, that's why I was like, I'm going to run up on it.
Battle mode!
That's why I was like, I'm going to run up on it first. Where's the legendary, and then see if
now we just need the ultimate form of Crydon and Miraidon fusing to something.
It seems like this generation isn't actually going to have a fusing gimmick. Oh, funny, they let someone ride the horse, but they don't let someone ride the motorcycle. But then again, I guess Galapagos riding the fucking bike would be too ridiculous.
All legendaries worth their salt fuse into something.
Because these two are the ride Pokemon, like, they're, motorcycles. These are the two you could do the stupid Calyrex fusion thing with again and have it actually work.
He takes his horse to the Old Town Road.
Takes his horse to the bullshit town road.
I love the Calyrex fusion. It's technically just Calyrex riding the horse, and it's considered one Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's what the fusion is!
So because of that, it has two abilities. So, like I said, if I have my Pokemon ride another Pokemon, does that count?
And when they're together, there's just a massive stat increase for no discernible reason. I love this dork.
I hate you and everything you stand for. This is the worst character...
This dork in her terrible outfit.
This is the worst character design in the game and the worst character design in the series. Like, I know I have made jokes about it, but on a sort of more serious note, most of everyone else's character or design looks fairly normal. The times you have people that aren't fairly normal or like Crasher Wake, which is a wrestler, so of course he would be dressed like that. She has no reason to be dressed like this. I mean, most Pokemon designs are
She's just wearing her oversized novelty jacket and her one single fishnet.
Just remember, the fishnet goes up to that weird, like, leotard thing.
It's under the oversized novelty jacket.
Also, because she's electric, I'm probably not going to Terrestrial for this to keep the electric typing so that I'm immune to, Thunder Wave and shit. And 4 times resist electric, so yeah. But she doesn't have any fairies, right?
No.
Okay, we're good.
Electric Fairy practically doesn't exist in general. I can think of like one electric fairy type.
Is basically like literally Tapu Koko.
That's not what I was thinking of.
What was the one you were thinking of?
I wasn't considering like legendaries. I was thinking of 9 legendaries. Because, you know, that's what you would actually see. Because this woman whipping out a Tapu Koko. I was like,
What is that, a ROM hack?
Dedenne?
Oh yeah, Dedenne. Also, why did Belly Bolt Sucker Punch was me, but not you?
Fighting!
Oh yeah, Fighting Resist. That's why it didn't go for that.
Fighting! Fighting resist dark! It would have to go for it if it thought it could get away with, a KO, like you're at 1 hit point. You take neutral dark damage, so the game went for it in the hopes.
So is the thing being a special attack, I wonder if some, like, thick things like Florges, if those are going to actually survive. Probably not.
It's a type.
It's one of those, probably not, but you never know.
You have to be on applicable level to survive, maybe, but this is still a legendary. With Eevee training.
Yes.
You're not just... We talked about this in my playthrough. It's not just a legendary. You actually Eevee trained.
Yeah.
Like I did.
And I have a perfect special attack. So like the other length, one of the only things I would expect to live would maybe be Mischievous. But even then, if it lives, it's gonna live at red. Because it'll actually be, like, hitting its thick-ass special defense. Though, because of that, when I get there, might actually Terrastal against it, but I do kind of want to see if it would live, because I find shit like that funny when it lives with 2 HP, because of how huge its special defense is.
There's applicable logic for surviving a legendary, but normally needs to be you're on par with the legendary, with roughly equivalent Eevee training. Because that's the thing about legendaries. A good enough normal Pokemon, if you're equal level, with, you know, equal amounts of Eevee training, can survive shit.
Yeah.
It entirely depends on the stats. Because there are those normal Pokemon.
Next to would it be... Isn't it water?
It's water. When fighting a legendary, if you're equal level, and you have enough specific Eevee training, you can survive things. And there are enough normal Pokemon with very specific stats, like Goodra's 150 special defense.
Yeah.
And Hisuian Goodra's 150 special defense.
It's like, that's the type of thing, even with the Eevee Train Legendary, I'd be like, yeah, I could actually see that maybe living a neutral.
Goodra's stat ratio, while its HP is not the highest, that special defense is absurd.
Yeah. And then, like, we have Flagorges is also, like, weirdly special defense events. Like, why did you make 2, like, very similar Pokemon in this generation?
What?
Where? Oh. I got turned around. Because that's a funny thing. You think that, like, Goodra and Flagorges, because they're both very similar in terms of their, like, stat spread and are both 3-stage evolutions, you think that there would be, like, some version split between the two. No. No, there isn't.
They're just very similar.
Yeah.
For, like, no reason.
They don't even... I believe they don't even have any, like, lore interactions or anything, because with Goodra being a snail, it mostly stays in, like, marshes and damp places, whereas Flagorges, because it looks like it would be fairy grass, but it's just pure fairy, so it's mostly associated with, like, gardens and stuff.
They like flowers, but there's no grass typing.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of people thought that thing would be fairy grass.
But it's not.
Fairy grass would have been useful enough in its own right.
Cool.
My rambling point is like, you have specific Pokemon when you're equal leveled enough can deal with legendaries.
Yes.
Fucking Ursaluna can survive anything. Ursaluna's dumb.
Ursaluna's bullshit.
Ursaluna's like mid-max specifically to be just the most obnoxious Pokemon ever. I have a love-hate relationship with that thing.
And if certain things in the DLC are true, it almost feels like they realized Ursaluna was a mistake and are now trying to course correct.
Oh, the thing for you happened again.
What?
Every time you fight this man, you fight him in a sandstorm.
Why does that keep happening?
I get no sandstorms, you only get sandstorms.
It's not like that matters in this context.
Could have done electric for the big damage.
Choice specs. It's either I lock into Volt Switch and keep having to throw this thing back out, or the one move has 5 PP, he has 6 Polygon.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I didn't.
Yeah, and it fell. You just always fight this man in a perpetual sandstorm. Because you were complaining about that in the main Let's Play, saying that the random RNG weather that can happen outside affecting the battle is kind of a bullshit because a battle...
Because other than being buffed, like, and it seems like the sandstorm stopped. Yeah.
Yep.
And it stopped. Oh no, buff by sandstorm. It's just one of those, the graphics went away. Because, like, other than the being buffed by this, I'm still not sure if this actually counts as, like, a sandstorm, considering that the helper overriding it was rain failed. I would assume it does, meaning that now, you know, the, like, two of these are beaten by water, but it's like, if you come here when it's a sandstorm and you have, like, a rock, ground, or steel type, they might, you know, because it's a sandstorm, a rock might have the special defense buff, and if they have the special defense buff, that could actually lead to a rock type surviving. Though that's the part where someone say, oh, it's water, why would you do that? But I still feel like it is kind of annoying, because it, like, that could literally lead to a victory or a defeat being determined by RNG. That's why I don't like that.
Water type crab.
Crab people. It tastes like crab, talk like people.
Take that, you jerk.
Take that, old man. This would probably be a cause of the Titan, but I find it interesting that he's like sort of set up to be like a chef, and yet he doesn't use Dondozo. But again, that's probably because there's the Titan Dondozo and they didn't want them to overlap.
In a lot of ways, it seems that way. Though, I mean, they also could have, and this would have been, you know, interesting in a crazy fun way, if they wanted them to somewhat be different, if they wanted to give him a Dondozo, they could have made him the only other, like, double battle, and they literally force you to go.
Yeah.
He has a Commander Tatsugiri, and they actually make you play doubles, and then you'd have to beat a, Dondozo.
Because despite the fact that the Tatsugiri does, like, come out of the Dondozo in the Titan battle, it doesn't have the, Dondozo stat boost. Think fuck.
It's time for the question of the day and my overall thoughts on the topic. So, anyway, how many of you would have preferred if a few of the Gym Leader rematches were double battles instead of single battles? When the game was new, I do remember a few people saying that a few of the rematches should have been replaced by a double battle instead of doing another single battle, because most people think that double battles are generally more challenging than single battles because you can do a lot more in doubles. And the water gym would have been a very good battle to convert into a double battle, because he could have used a rain team and maybe even used a Dondozo and a Tatsugiri to basically show off that Pokemon. And overall, that would have been a bit more interesting. So I don't completely disagree with this notion as long as the teams were decently balanced. And this was a set of fights in the postgame. So at that point, you could easily build a very good strategy to take on whatever the game happened to have. So in a postgame battle, a random double battle out of nowhere would not really be that bad. But anyway, you can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments. Or you can leave them on social media. All of my social media links, as well as my Discord links, are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute. If you subscribe to the channel, and if you follow me on social media, that really helps our communities grow. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope I will see you all next time. So, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, everybody. I hope you'll come back someday. See you later.